GSL Season 1.
And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the 2026 GSL Season 1 Round of 8 Group B. It's been a very intense broadcast so far. Non-stop ace matches. Non-stop. I mean, in previous days and previous weeks of GSL, it's been non-stop 2-0s, but here we've gone down to the wire every single time. Ace match after ace match after ace match, and now we have reached the final series of the broadcast. It is the decider match between herO and ByuN. Bearing in mind, this is a rematch, as ByuN did take down herO 2-1 earlier in the broadcast, did take him down in the second series of the day, and now we're back. We're back with the rematch here, and oh boy, I mean, it's sad to say, but one of these two players is going to be knocked out of GSL, and only one will be able to rise up into the round of 4. Let's go. Let us go. Up first, we have ByuN. We have ByuN here. Ooh, is ready for the rematch. Maybe a little bit concerned. I mean, he said himself that he was confident. True, the confidence was there. We'll see if that confidence persists coming into the rematch. Meanwhile, he's not smudging anymore. The smile is back. The smile is back. The smudge is gone again. We turned off all the lights and we were full serious mode. Not a single smile in hero's face when it came to that ZYAN series, but now the lights are back on. The smile has returned. herO, he is vibing as we are getting into our final series. Best of 3 vetoes are done. Game 1 is going to be Winter Madness, Game 2 10,000 feet, and Game 3 is going to be on Ruby Rock. Interesting. ByuN took care of some of the larger maps that make it difficult for Terran players to build up into the mid to late game, such as Enclave, Tactical Citadel, and Old Republic, so those vetoes make sense. Meanwhile, herO go into the aggressive maps, Tourmaline, Mothership, and White Rabbit. Despite that, I will still say that 10,000 feet and Ruby Rock can still favor aggressive styles and aggressive builds, so we'll see how our players will approach this series. Let's go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the South Korean Terran, the blue Terran for Shopify. It is ByuN. And in the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss for T1, herO. Let's go. Let us go. Whew. Unfortunately, no predictions on Soup. True. Since ZYAN was also in the dark, you say that ZYAN was using a green screen, so I wouldn't. ZYAN was not smudging. He was covered in darkness, but it was fake darkness. There was no smudge out of ZYAN. CDBT trophy, yeah. herO, he's got his wall. He's got his wall of trophies behind him. True. As ByuN moves out with the early SCV. Okay, SCV gets sent across the map. I believe this should be for an eBay block. I believe this should be for a block of the expansion. I say that. We'll see if we make our way in or if we throw down the racks. Yeah, there we go. The SCV is making his way in, and the goal here is to force the unnatural out of herO. Here comes the eBay, and we'll see if herO checks the low ground within the next couple of seconds. If not, he'll be forced to expand elsewhere. SCV moves down. It's too late. Yeah, it's too late here. The eBay block is successful, and hero's forced to expand at the third location. You can see ByuN does race over, and ByuN, he fails to deny the expand. Okay, there's a world where if ByuN were able to get his eBay up, if it was a later probe down to the low ground, ByuN could have left the eBay, gone to the third location, and then forced the low ground third expansion. And we have seen many a Protoss player struggle with that low ground expand, but here herO at least gets the high ground third. It's not ideal, but it could have been worse. Could have been worse. Now it's on ByuN. ByuN, he does go for his own racks expand into reactor, so there's no fast factory follow-up here, no fast helium production. Not anywhere near as aggressive. But again, it's still going to be an awkward start here for herO. Awkward base setup. Here we go. For now, it is going to be, a Stargate opener. This is a rarer sight, by the way. It is common, it is meta to go Twilight Council into Blink, into 2-gate Blink, 3-gate Blink, 4-gate Blink Stalker. But no, herO goes to the Stargate opener. This is a rarer sight. It is more common on larger maps, and this is a larger map, so welcome to Winter Madness. I say it's more common on larger maps because when you go for a Stargate opener, your ground army and your defenses early on are very weak. They're very, very weak, and you are vulnerable to early game aggression. That is why on larger maps, you have a little bit more breathing room, you have more time and more space in between you and your opponent. So we have a Stargate into Oracle Opener to harass across the map, to do some economic damage, to attempt to give herO a lead coming into the early to mid game. And here comes the Oracle. Meanwhile, ByuN has yet to scout. ByuN is currently playing blind, and without scouting, I mean, the Oracle can catch him off guard. Remember, Stargate openers are rarer, so there's less of a chance for ByuN to be ready for this. For now, though, getting to his own 1-1-1 follow-up, we do cancel. If you notice, he had the Cyclone in production. He lifts, he cancels the Cyclone, so again, limited anti-air for ByuN. Now, due to this add-on swap, though, are we going for earlier stim? Curious. What do we swap onto the Tech Lab, the Rax, or the Starport? Still taking a lot of hits. Yeah, does take a lot of damage. Yeah, a bit of miscontrol there by herO. Does take extra shots. The Oracle makes its way into the main, and it is going to be the Starport. Okay, so Tech Lab is on the factory and on the Starport. We have tank production, no Cyclone. Oracle dips in, and we'll get one. We'll get maybe two. Ooh, just the one. There we go. Second SCV kill. Could have been three, but two. Not bad. 2 SCVs, 0 hull damage. The Oracle pulls away. The Oracle can always go back in, and we have a second Oracle popping out. So remember, 2 Oracles, 1-shot SCVs. So despite your reaction time, 2 Oracles, they can just wreak havoc. So second Oracle's on the way. Adept does take over control of the natural, denies mining. Here, ByuN stuck on one base. So far, the harassment has been working well here for herO. Harassment is going well. Back at home, herO taking up, going for his own delayed Twilight Council. Phoenix on the way, that will help when it comes to dealing with the early game aggression, referring to Raven harass. Ooh, Adept shades in, the Adept is going to be punished. Yeah, here he does shade in. He at least gets full scat off, confirming that Stim is on the way, confirming the production setup. As the Oracle goes back in, 2 more SCVs, 4 SCV kills in total. Not bad. 4 SCV kills so far. Behind this, going Phoenix into charge lots. Into Zealot legs. Often it's quite common to go Stargate into either Colossus or Stargate into charge lots, one or the other. It is going to be charge lots. Charge should be done in time for the stim push, assuming that ByuN commits. So for now, ByuN is contained. herO is building up, but behind this we should be claiming our third base. Ooh, the Cyclone gets a lock on. Yeah, brutal lock on here. The Oracle is going to go down. Massive pick off. Here he did face check. The second Oracle does hit the natural, gets 2 more SCVs. But ByuN defends well. Overall, like, he has lost 6 SCVs throughout the course of this game. But he does defend, he does hold. Building up his 3-1-1 setup. When Stim finishes, then we can start to push. Now the question becomes, does ByuN commit on 2 bases, or does he claim a third? We mentioned earlier that Stargate openers usually mean that your defenses are a little bit weaker, and ByuN might decide to commit. Otherwise, the issue though is that he doesn't know if there's Colossus on the way, right? It could be a Robo Colossus follow-up or charge. ByuN is still in the dark because of that, and as a result, a higher chance he just gets a third. He just claims the third base, takes the expansion. Phoenix as they poke in, they get 2 SCVs. That's 8 SCV kills so far. Nice damage. Catching at 8 SCVs, rotating over. Headed towards the main. Can we get up to 10? We can. Yeah, there's an opening. Wow, big opening here. 2 more SCVs, 10 in total. Here comes ByuN's move out. He pushes. And charge is ready. Yeah, charge is ready. hero's warping in. Oh, we just pulled the boys. 2 base all in. 2 base all in here by ByuN. Now, herO, the Phoenixes, they can lift the tanks. True, they can lift the tanks, but outside of that, they're not going to help too much. Ooh, they catch the Raven. 1 Phoenix goes down. Raven does fall. No armor shred. Uh-oh. Yeah, there's no armor shred. But the boys are here to tank the charge. They're here to tank. Zealot's like, they commit in. He does collapse in. Nice lift on the tank. SCVs are going down. What about the Marines? Yeah, what about the ByuN army? Zealots, they pull back. Smart move here by herO. Yeah, he pulls back, preserves his charge, warping in more Zealots, and now there's no more tank. There's no more tank. ByuN is running out of steam. Oh, Zealots, again, we're being very careful here. Pulling back once again. He force fields. He locks him down. He locks him in. Mine shots are denied. 16 SCV kills. We're running out of SCVs. Nice Sim City here, throwing down turrets. He does throw them down. Mine shots going off. Decent mine connections, but the Marines are heavily overstimmed. Boys are being pulled. We need another warp in. We need more Zealots. Yeah, we need another warp in here. Very nice target firing. The mine shot. Oh my god. No friendly fire. Drills in. Surrounds the army. Yeah, that's 15, 16, 17 probe kills. A messy defense by herO, and ByuN's done it. ByuN, he has broken herO. We needed one more warp in of Zealots. herO, he was so close. He was so close. One more warp in of Zealots, or maybe some friendly fire from the mine. But ByuN has broken through. Yeah, he maintains the army. Stims on forward. herO's got a couple of Archons. I mean, herO, he might be able to engage. But he's in the base. He cannot afford to lose the expansion. Yeah, the Nexus is going to go down. Massive pickoff. 2 base versus 2 base. ByuN, he has an economy. He has mules. herO moving out across the map. Desperation out of herO. Yeah, he's desperate. Does catch a couple of reinforcements. herO, can he get into the mineral line? If herO can get into the natural, then he can recover. He can do this. There's 2 Marauders and 2 Marines. And Marauders, they get behind the mineral line. Boys are being pulled. SCVs, they are going to be going down. Nice hold position micro. I say that SCVs, they pull away. Yeah, they pull away. ByuN is racing back home to defend. Marauders are going down. And we're getting messy. We're getting very messy here. Very chaotic. There's Rico back home. Save some of the Zealots. ByuN, sorry, here he has to be careful. In a head-on fight, I still do favor ByuN here. He's got a lot of Marauders. That's the thing. He's got a heavy Marauder army and 3 Widow Mines. If herO can force friendly fire, then he can pull this off. But outside of that, I don't know if he can really engage head-on. Oh, the mine shot. Oof. Widow Mine connection. herO pulls away. Storm has begun. And we're getting messy. Like, this is a very messy game state. I do favor ByuN. Like, ByuN, he's on 2 base versus 2 base. When we have an even base count, the Terran is favored as they have mules, they have a greater economy. Likewise, they have a more efficient army as well. herO is still on the back foot. A storm can change things. But ByuN is being so aggressive here. He should be able to hit pre-storm. Yeah, this army is just looking terrifying. It's just a terrifying death bull of an army. It's so beefy. So many Marauders. Even with Storm, he can just take it to the face. He can tank a Storm. He can tank it. He's moving in. Storm is done. Ooh. The Storm is done. 1 Night Templar goes down. There's 3 Storms left. Lands 1. Decent Storm. Yeah, decent Storm. Zones back the army. herO defends against the drop. Baits out the mine. Baits out the mine. Tries to bait out the other. There's 2 mines left. Oh! Almost drags the mine in. Casito. Yeah, Phoenixes are being thrown away. The mine shots, they are brutal. Massive connections on the Zealots. Ay, ay, ay. herO's army crumbles. The mine shots were insane. Storm does graze the army, but ByuN, he's doing it. ByuN, he's doing it. He's pushing across the map. herO, he can't defend and attack at the same time. The cannon does help. Shout to the cannon. Oof. Losing the final Phoenix. Losing that final Phoenix. And ByuN is getting a 3rd. He's claiming a 3rd base. herO, he still has no economy. 38 probes. herO's trying to recover. And what is herO hoping for? If herO can catch out some of these drops, true, if he can catch out some of these drops and minimize losses, then herO can recover in this game. But he is heavily reliant on those kind of moments here, on catching ByuN out of position or off guard. herO does have 6 High Templar. He has some decent Storms. There's a decent amount of Storms. But again, there's just so many Marauders here. Yeah, Widow Mine does burrow. Shot goes off. Oof, massive connection. The Zealots, they get thrown away, drop into the bases, and herO, again, he cannot defend. He will lose the expansion. Natural goes down. Takes down the Nexus. He's at the pylons. herO's all in. He's all in, baby. He's pushing into the natural. It's all or nothing here. He's got a good amount of Storms, but he has no Zealots. There's just no meat to the army. Storm does zone. Massive EMP. Oh my god. Insane EMP. There's a couple of storms left. The storms are thrown down, but there's no follow-up. There's just nothing outside of just storms. And ByuN holds. Yeah, ByuN holds on. Still commits into more damage across the map. Kite's well against the Zealots. Dropping into the mineral line, denying more mining. Yeah, here heavily supplied looks as well. It cannot warp in. Oh, the friendly fire from the storm. The storm killed probes. Not like this. The friendly fire. And even here, catching a High Templar. ByuN just trading as efficiently as possible. And here comes the main push. Here comes the main army. He's got ghosts. He's got EMPs. The Archons are in the main. The third is exposed. What even is there here at the third? 2 Templar. He's got 2 Templar. ByuN, we can go. Playing it safe. ByuN is playing it safe. He pulls away, claims his own third base. Oh, sorry. He floats over the main. Sure, yeah, it works. Why not? Why not? Floats over the main expansion. Cloak on the way for the ghost. You can hear he's hoping that these EMPs don't connect. If he can split and minimize the efficiency of the EMPs, then maybe. Feedback's the medevac. Storms and Marauders. Kills 1, 2, 3 Marauder kills. Mainly zones. I think that was the 4th Marauder going down. Okay. I mean, that was a decent chunk of Marauders falling, actually. Oh, god, EMP. Connects with Archons. So Archons get caught. There's still a couple of storms. Feedback's one of the ghosts. Oh, High Templar goes down. That was a high energy High Templar as well. Had a lot of energy. Okay, he commits in once again. Massive EMPs on the Archons. The Archons have no shields, and the Archons are going down. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 Archons fall. The Archons, they just crumble. And ByuN snowballs from here. Yeah, he snowballs out of control. There's nothing left. Down to 0 Archons, 0 High Templar. Yeah, you can see herO hand off the keyboard, shaking his head. And there it is, GG. GG gets called, and ByuN, he'll take game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played. A very chaotic game 1 here. Winding it back, it was a Stargate opener, Oracle harass into Phoenixes. Meanwhile, ByuN, upon confirming the Stargate opener, what we mentioned at the very beginning of the game, actually, if you remember, was that Stargate openers are a little bit rarer. Why? Because they leave you vulnerable. Like, defending against these 2-base all-ins is much more difficult with Stargate openers, as Phoenixes are less useful. They don't really have as many uses when it comes to defensive play. They can lift up a tank, they can lift up tanks, they can lift up a unit here and there, but when you go for these 2-base all-ins, because you have all these SCVs and you're very bio-heavy, then Phoenixes, they're just less useful. They're less valuable, lifting up 1 Marine at a time and 1 SCV at a time, for example. They have just less uses. So we saw that herO was more vulnerable. Despite that, herO, he had some really nice force fields, He had some decent Zealot, some Zealot engagements as well. He was being very patient, warping in more Zealots. It was still a very close fight, but it barely go in favor of ByuN, right? ByuN, he was able to edge it out, able to take the better engage, the better fight, overwhelm, and eventually broke on through in towards the 3rd base and did break his opponents then and there. The game continued for sure, but ByuN for the most part was very comfortable. Like, it was on, the pressure was on herO to get something crazy going, like a Zealot run by, a Zealot counterattack, War Prism drop, massive storms. Like, we needed something in favor of herO to stabilize, but wasn't quite able to. GG, well played. With that, ByuN does take a lead in the series, and our players have asked for a break. They've asked for a break here. It makes sense. This is the final series of the broadcast. This is the decider match, and ByuN needs 1 win. He needs 1 win to advance on into the semis. And if ByuN were to make it through, that means 3 Terrans in the semifinals. Oh, the TVTs, papi. Oh, no. Are we coming back to the GOM TVT days, papi? True. Are we coming back to it? Not like this. So hoping for at least some diversity in the semis, but we'll see. We'll see. Again, ByuN, you know, he's so close. And we mentioned earlier as well that ByuN, he's been in the middle of the pack for a long time. Like he's been in the middle of the pack amongst the Korean players. We saw his last year's results as well when it comes to major events, and it was like top 12 runs more than anything. So this will be a big result for ByuN and ByuN's career to make it into the top 4 in 2026. Let's go. Let us go. Game 2 is going to be on 10,000 feet. Smaller map. How will herO adjust? No shot we go Stargate. No shot we see a Stargate opener here by herO, especially on a smaller map. We should be seeing Twilight Council and safe play instead. But herO does like to be the aggressor. He likes to mix things up and catch his opponent off guard. And sometimes the best defenses will good offense. And herO, he loves that mantra. Does he go 4-gate? Does he double down? Does he go early charge? Show us what you got. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of 10,000 feet, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran for Shopify. It is ByuN. And in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player for T1. It is herO. Here we go. Game 2, potentially the final game of the series. ByuN, he needs one more game to claim this series and to advance on into the semifinals alongside Cure, Maru, and Shin. Again, we have 2 Terrans and 1 Zerg in the semifinals, and they'll be joined by one of these 2 players. And again, ByuN is so close. He is so close. For now, we're going to be opening up. Ranks back at home. SCV is sent across the map, and do we go for another eBay block? We were able to successfully eBay block in game 1. Do we do it again here in game 2? The SCV does veer off towards the left-hand side. Will avoid the main scouting path. Does avoid the probe scouts. So again, we're getting into our game. There it is, eBay block on the low ground, and it looks like the eBay block is successful. This is brutal. This is a really rough start for herO, just because eBay blocks specifically on 10,000 feet are worse. There is no good natural option. There is no good third base option here. Both third locations are very open. They're very exposed. You can see the SCV blocks. Yeah, the SCV does block the expand and will force the center natural. Oof. So with this herO, he is much more exposed than normal here in the early game, and ByuN does go reactor into CC. It looks like ByuN will not go for the faster factory. Yeah, goes to the command center. There are some Terran players that go for a factory follow-up into reactor to Hellion to punish the Protoss. Oh, herO cancels. Wow, herO, he canceled the Nexus, and restarts the base at the natural location. As we mentioned, there's no good third base option or good alternate natural option here on 10,000 feet. So herO, instead of committing into that center expand, he canceled and goes for a delayed natural. He will lose resources with the cancellation, so he will lose money, he'll lose resources, and his natural base is going to be delayed, but it will be safer and more secure. Unfortunately for herO, ByuN went for the CC follow-up, not the factory follow-up, so ByuN has the lead. ByuN, he does have a slight lead early on here in the early game. herO even goes Zealot first, but it was a CC on the high ground. Yeah, high ground CC, the Zealot doesn't do any damage. This is a shaky start for herO. So disrupted early game, disrupted expansion, Zealot first didn't really achieve anything. Behind this, going for the Twilight Council follow-up, going for a much more standard tech structure at least. But again, here's pressure to find some damage, and so far he is not. Okay, no damage is dealt. Behind this, we have a 1-1-1 follow-up. I believe that is a tech lab on the factory. Yeah, tech lab on the factory, and we are not going for the add-on swap, at least not yet, so we're going for the early Cyclone. Okay. Now, in my mind, because ByuN has a lead early on, we might see Cyclone into medevac into early Bio-Cyclone push, drop across the map, into like a hyper-aggressive start. Yep, there it is. There's a medevac. So this is a very aggressive start for ByuN. He's going to be moving out with all his Marines, with a medevac and with a Cyclone, and we'll see if he can catch out the initial gateway units. If there's no battery back at home, then herO, he will be losing Stalkers, and things might quickly snowball out of control. So a very assertive start here for ByuN. He's going for the tank as well, yeah. Catching out the Adept, Cyclone is revealed, the Marines as well. Here comes the battery. Here he's setting up. He's getting ready. And I believe ByuN is waiting for the tank. He's waiting for the tank. Here comes the bio push. And oh, never mind. The medevac moves out. Last time the medevac waited for the tank to drop across the map. But no. We're just moving out faster. Okay. We're going for an earlier push. Army gets spotted. herO is aware. And here comes ByuN. There are 4 souls to defend. Nice volley. Volley goes off the Cyclone. Cyclone is 1 shot away from going down, and herO defends. Whew, herO, he does defend. If the Cyclone was on full HP, then ByuN could keep pushing. He can just keep pushing, get a lock on, and keep the Cyclone back, but that first volley does slow ByuN down quite heavily. Meanwhile, here comes the tank reinforcements. Yeah, the tank has arrived, so ByuN can now try to push forward and get the tank within range of the buildings. For now, staying on the high ground. Ooh, ByuN turns around. Okay. ByuN, he doesn't test his luck. There was a window of opportunity. The window is closed, and herO defends. Whew. Okay, herO, he does defend. Now, what I will say is that this is a very mature decision from ByuN. A lesser player or a more ambitious player might have committed there and might have gotten damage done or might have lost his army. Here, ByuN, he pulls back. He preserves the tank. He preserves the Cyclone. He preserves the Marines and gets ready for the sim timing instead. Meanwhile, here he blinks in. Ooh, he blinks in. He wants Stim. And he's going to get a massive pick off. Stim is going to be denied. We'll lose 1 Stalker. Takes down the Tech Lab. Takes down the Reactor. And blinks away. And does blink away. A very nice pick off here. And remember, the whole point of backing off was to go for a Stim timing. And now Stim is delayed. Yeah, Stim is going to be delayed. So massive pick off here. ByuN is going to be... He's going to be forced back. He's stuck at home. And herO can now recover. Whew. So here he is recovering. Going back in. He wants the tank. Yeah, he does want the tank. He's going to get it. Can he get Stim again? Can he get Stim for a second time? No. Okay. Not quite. Yeah, Marines are in position. Here he has to blink out, and he does get away. Doesn't lose the Stalker. They get low. Stalkers are low, but he does get away. Did snipe the tank. That will weaken the push. I believe he's down to 2. No, down to 1. Down to 1 tank. No more tank production. Observer gets caught out. But now there's a higher chance, yet we expand. So ByuN, instead of the last game going for the 2-base all-in, here ByuN, he throws down the 3rd CC, is forced to expand. If he wanted to go for an all-in, Stim is delayed. Tank got sniped as well, so it's just too weak. The all-in would be too weak from here, so ByuN forced to get a CC. You can see him shaking his head actually a little bit there. It looks like maybe ByuN, he really did want to commit. But now ByuN is forced into the mid-game. Meanwhile, herO taking up. We have the Bay already done. We have Extended Lance on the way, Colossus on the way, +1 on the way, 2nd Forge as well for double upgrades, a 4th expansion. You can see herO be quite greedy here. He's taking up a lot, investing heavily in upgrades, and getting a 4th expansion. Before ByuN even has a 3rd. This is a really early 4th base, by the way. Like, this is, we're cutting a lot of corners. Like, herO, he has momentum, he feels that, and he's cutting so many corners here to just skyrocket ahead even further. And I believe he should get away with it. Like, this is calculated, but it's still risky. Like, I still feel uncomfortable. Like, it's like, Papi, calm down. Calm down, Papi, calm down. Usually you start your 4th as the 3rd is being taken. Here he starts the 4th as ByuN starts his 3rd. Like, that's how fast it is. So again, very greedy play here by herO. But again, he is getting away with it. He's gained map control, contain his opponents, building up to 2, soon to be 3 Colossus. And ByuN might just have to turtle at this point. Like, at this point, he might just be too far behind where he just has to turtle up. Oh, the miss rally. Okay. As we have a Dark Shrine on the way, this signifies that herO believes that, again, he has map control, so he's free to take up into, like, an alternative tech path in towards harassment. So DTs, they can get into mineralize, they can harass. We saw this actually in game 2 of herO versus ByuN in the previous series, in this broadcast. We saw the same thing. And yeah, ByuN is just turtling. Like, he's just forced to just turtle up, secure himself, build up more tanks, get into eventually another CC, dive into the main base, gets the reactor, not bad. Delaying Viking production. Ooh, oh, got the punish though. There's a bit of a punish. Catching out 2 Stalkers. herO now getting a 5th expansion. There's no 4th, by the way. No 4th in sight. So again, speaking of greed, like, it's all just snowballing out of control, and herO's about to max. herO's about to max out. Committing into the 3rd, though. Yeah, he does stim in. He does commit. He does get one of the tanks. But again, this is a brutal choke point. The Vikings are going ham here on the Colossus. Zelts are running out, and ByuN holds. Oh, this was a very ambitious move here from herO, and I don't think it was quite worth it. Again, ByuN, this is where all his defenses are, at the 3rd. And herO just rams his head against a brick wall. Brick wall. herO jumping into the main. We'll find some damage here. Not bad. Going for the warping as well. Warps into the main base. Colossus, they move in. The tanks, they catch one Colossus. Oh my god, massive Nova. Nova goes off. But a messy fight here by herO. He might just lose the second Colossus. Oh no, he will. He's gonna lose everything. Second Colossus goes down. Massive losses for herO. He does get 21 SCVs, but herO's been very careless with the army. He's been very careless. He's been throwing away a lot. He plummets in supply. Now, what I will say is that as long as ByuN doesn't counterattack, it's okay. Like, herO, these are very messy fights, very inefficient engagements. But if ByuN stays at home, then herO doesn't get punished, right? Like, herO doesn't get punished. He can just keep rebuilding, remaxing, just keep doing this. ByuN for now is just still turtling, now claiming a 4th expansion. But the lead that herO had, he is losing it a little bit here. Ideally, herO would have maxed and waited for ByuN to expand. Ideally, you wait for the 4th base to be taken, and then you punish the 4th, because that's when ByuN starts to spread himself thin. But now ByuN can take his 4th base freely because herO lost his army. So that was an overextension from herO, for sure. It was an overextension. Better fight for ByuN. herO still has that strong economy, but replacing all those Colossus, it takes time. He's getting a 2nd Robo. At this point, it might even be worth getting a 3rd Robo. He's slowly rebuilding the Colossus. By the time he does, ByuN will be maxed. And ByuN is perfecting his army from Bio Tank into Bio Tank Liberator Viking. So ByuN is perfecting his army. It's going to become more and more difficult to break this turtling Terran. Okay, Prism into the main. He gets in. Prism into the main. Army's in position. herO, we gotta be patient. Like, yeah, herO, he wants to go in. We gotta calm down, take a breath. Again, like, ByuN wants to fight here. He wants to fight at his 3rd. You can see he's at a siege line of tanks, Liberators, SimCity with Debos as well. That is where ByuN wants to fight. Don't give him what he wants. Well, you can see here he's going for it. Yeah, he's going for the dive. Does commit in. Massive tank shots. Bio army's out of position. True. Yeah, Marines are a little bit late to the party here, but they collapse on top of the Stalkers, and Stalkers are going down. Yeah, Stalkers are falling. herO, he will lose everything. Now, he does reset the tank count, so there's a bit of a trade. True. Bit of a trade. But herO, he plummets in supply. He will lose all of his gateway army, the Zealots, and the Stalkers. If it was only Zealots, that's fine. But herO, he doesn't have a gas bank. Like, he lost, what, 8 Stalkers there in that fight? Oof. So again, herO, he's, these have been some rough trades. As a result, he has 0 Stalkers. And what does that mean? That means that he has no answer for the Vikings, right? Sure, he has 3 Colossus, that's great and all, but without Stalkers, then the Vikings, they just go to town on your army. They can just kill Colossus for free. So you need that anti-air. You need to preserve those Stalkers because you don't really have much gas to work with. Intentionally so, herO is on a very low gas count, like his assimilators. He only has, what, 3? 4? He has 4. He only has 4 assimilators. So he has very limited gas income, so you have to be careful with how you spend your gas. You have to be careful. And herO's coming in for wave number 3 at this point. Prism into the main. herO, he's rotating with his own main army. Going for the warp in. herO's maxed. Here's maxed out. We have a couple of Dark Templar in the mix. Colossus, they take down the sensor tower. And I want to say there's either 5 or 6 Stalkers. I think it's 5. Yeah, 5 Stalkers. Sorry, 6. Does move in, tanks out of position, liberates as well. Better angle, true. Better angle here for herO. Does try to force his way through. Zealots are running out. Now we can just stim in. Yeah, now we just stim in. We can chase out the Colossus. No, he can chase. Oh my god, doesn't quite break through. Barely nuts. At the same time, he was distracted. ByuN was distracted. 16 SCV kills. The Colossus are preserved. Yeah, you can see here ByuN, he wanted to chase. He wanted to chase, but the Zealots are causing such a big distraction. That was ByuN's moment to pounce. To dive on the Colossus. As now they shell away at the army. 16 SCV kills. herO, he has the momentum. He does cripple the economy. Does cripple. herO is still playing with fire, but now his economy is like kicking in. Like this time, he preserved the Colossus, right? He preserved the Colossus. He kept them alive. We have a massive amount of Zealots, I believe, on the right-hand side. And ByuN should be stuck in home, and ideally the way this works here is that ByuN wants to wait for herO to push into him. He wants herO to take a bad fight, and then that triggers a counterattack. As herO takes every other base on the map. And herO has taken some bad fights, so like it's not unreasonable for ByuN to expect that. But that's what he's waiting for. He's waiting for herO to move in, take the better fights, and then break out. Speaking of, does catch a Colossus. Free Colossus. One Colossus goes down. Vikings, they move in. They get a second Colossus. Yeah, I guess two. There's 3 Colossus left. Oh, but the Zealots, they do lock down the ByuN army. At the same time, double Prism into the main. But ByuN's ready. Yeah, ByuN's ready for the Prisms. He gets one. He gets both War Prisms. Very nice defense. herO, he plummets in supply. And this is what ByuN wanted, right? Wait for herO to take a bad fight, and then we can break out. Ooh. Gets on the Colossus. Down to 2. Down to 1. Soon to be down to 0. Yeah, that Colossus barely alive. There we go. Fine, Colossus does fall. 0 Colossi remaining. Purely gateway army. Baiting the army into Liberators. Baits him in. But alas, not enough momentum. Like, sniping the Colossus is good, but he needed a stronger fight there to break out. Speaking of, Stalkers, they move in. Jesus. Stalkers move in. Heavy losses for herO. Zealots, they try to come in from behind. So herO keeps working more Zealots. Back at home, he's making 2 Colossus at a time. Nerves going off. Oh, they connect. Catching out 1. Hot pickup. Hot pickup at the ByuN. herO, he has the map. Now, what's important here, herO does have all these bases, but the reality is that herO has not saturated bottom left and bottom right. These 2 expansions don't have any saturation, so technically there's still fresh bases for ByuN to take. As herO hasn't taken any bases, he gets 2 Disruptors. Nice catch out of ByuN. Oh, he gets locked down. Very nice force fields. The Zealots, they come in from behind, DTs as well. herO is deflected. He does nice some mining at least. Ooh, DTs, they blink in. Yeah, better engage for herO. He does break through. As herO does catch a couple of ghosts. ByuN scans. Does spot the base, does spot the army. herO does commit in into liberation zones. And does he have enough DTs? He's breaking through. Yeah, herO, he's overwhelming. Breaks through the ByuN army, throws away the Colossus. DTs force back, actually. Oh, actually, ByuN holds. Yeah, ByuN, he holds on. I assume the DTs were trading a little bit better there, but no. Yeah, ByuN, he does hold on. Building up more Liberators, getting into 10 Liberators. He's got the freedom, the liberation zones. The efficiency. The mineral efficiency. The gases are more or less the same. So far, hero's lost 181 Zealots. Can we get up to 200? We can, 100%. Once again, herO, he only now Maynards. He still has yet to saturate this base, which is a concern. Like, ideally, herO needs to prioritize that saturation. I feel like you can send someone like the The frustration from ByuN. Again, it's not a fun style to play because you're stuck at home, right? You're just stuck defending. Oh. Okay. As he pulls away. Saves the Colossus. But especially because ByuN is aggressive by nature, like he wants to break out. He wants to. But you gotta be patient. Meanwhile, ByuN takes down bottom left, and again, there was barely any mining there, so it's a fresh base. Here he starts mining center right. Bottom right. Center tower goes down. Jesus, that's so much freedom. That's so much liberation. So again, throughout all this, here he has begun to, Jesus, build up a massive mineral bank at least. That's a lot of zealots. It's gonna be a lot of zealots available. Again, minimal gas. Liberator does 9 mining here on bottom right. Nicely done. That is mining. Here he rotates over to the right hand side. I believe the Sensor did spot the rotation. And ByuN is ready. He's in position. And here he needs to be careful. At this point, I would be critical of herO not going into Skyjumps, but here we collapse. Yeah, we collapse on top of the army. Colossus goes down to 2. Down to almost 1. Yeah, down to 1 Colossus. ByuN collapsing in. ByuN can take this fight. We have more Zealot Warpins. We need those Liberators. Yeah, Liberators, they have to push forward. Oof. Yeah, awkward to engage there at the ramp. As Liberators, they're slowly pushing forward here. Trying to at least. Again, there's so many Liberators behind this. We can bring them in. Bring them in, Pappy. Bring them in. Speaking of, better trade for ByuN. Catching out more Zealots. Prism into the main. Bold move. Prism does survive. Here he rotates in. And again, we have a lot of Liberators kind of wasting their supply that are further back. ByuN is holding. He's holding and he's fighting for the space. He wants it himself. He wants it. There we go. Liberators, they move in. They force the blink. Nice EMPs. Yeah, nice EMPs. And with that, ByuN, he will take this fight. Forces herO back. Expansion will fall. Here he rotates to the left-hand side. Trying to distract. Trying to buy time. But again, this base should fall. ByuN never took bottom left. I thought he did. Yeah, I thought he did. Colossus, decent swipes. Decent swipes in the bio. Colossus, they do get away. Important. As here he preserves the Colossus. Oh my god, the Mule Hammer! The Mule there, Pappy. Let's go. ByuN, he gets a base. A fresh expansion. He takes it. Again, bearing in mind, he did not take bottom left. I thought he did, but wasn't quite able to. Here he rotates in. He's going to be careful to be surrounded. Does try to rotate. Bleeds out a Stalker. And remember, because herO only lost mainly Zealots, like, he's fine. Like, these are trades he can afford. He preserved most of the Colossus and Stalkers. Remember, here he has 5,000 minerals in the bank, so he can just keep replenishing those Zealots. Oh, that's here he commits. Blinks in. Crazy. Yeah, blinks in. Nova's going up. No connections. A wild blink. Ooh, better Nova. Ooh, the Novas are popping off. Massive connections. The Novas are insane. And yeah, ByuN, he cannot max out. ByuN is, these are just 2 brutal trades here. hero's doing it. Hero's doing it. He blinks in. He gets 1, he gets 2, he gets 3 Liberators. Massive losses there for ByuN. And here he's snowball guy control. He breaks the main army. And ByuN can't afford to replenish this. He can't afford to replace. He cannot replace the army. The fresh space is nice and all, but he needs time to make use of it. And here is going for the kill. Diving into the mid line. Aggressive blink. Very aggressive. Lose a Colossus, but it's fine. And with that, we're forcing the ace smash. We're going to game 3. He's doing it. The Nova goes off. Oh my god. Massive connection. And we're going the distance here. GG gets called. Every series tonight is going to the ace match. Let's go. Whew. GG. GG, well played. With that, herO ties up the series. We're going to game number 3. It's happening. We're going to game 3. And again, I will say that ByuN had a couple of moments. If you remember, we were pointing them out. There were a couple of moments, there were a couple of opportunities where I feel like ByuN could have pressed an advantage, where he was winning fights, but he didn't chase. He was not chasing. And I understand the rationale for it, right? Because especially the Warp Prism, right? The Warp Prism was constantly keeping attention and supply in the main. And that was like a nuisance here for ByuN that kept him back. Like, there were a couple of moments where he was forced to turn around and he could not chase, but it did feel like there were some missed opportunities to chase the army, to break out a little bit earlier, to break some of the expansions and claim earlier 5th bases. But last he wasn't quite able to. He wasn't quite able to with that. GG well played. With that, we're now getting into the ace match. Let's go. We're getting into the ace match. Going to be loading into Ruby Rock. Anyway, here he had some crazy fights that were not solid, were not good. In the mid game, there was some wild fights there from herO. I was very concerned with the trading that he was doing, with the amount of Colossus he was throwing away. But in the end, he was successful in containing. That's all that mattered. He contained ByuN. And now we're getting into game number 3. Gonna be on Ruby Rock, a smaller map, shorter rush distance by ground, exposed bases. We're expecting aggression here, and especially after that last game. And again, at least on the cameras, it did look like ByuN was getting frustrated. I feel like we might just vent those frustrations in a big all-in with aggression. Let's go. Let us go. As it all comes down to this final game, again, the winner of this series will advance on to the semifinals. It is all on the line. Oh boy. And again, it's sad, like, you know, herO and ByuN, they're both fan favorites, right? They're both fan favorites. They both got a lot of heart to them. But at least we get what I wanted, ace match. We get the most out of these players. The most out of them. True. Gives more games. Oh. Yeah, so here we are setting up for that final game here, the final ace match. Once again, if you want to support the GSL, true, it looks like we're asking for a break. Yeah, it looks like we're asking for a break. Okay. Understandable. It's all on the line. Once again, if you want to support the GSL, you can do so via Patreon. Patreon/GSL is the way to support the event, at least internationally. You can also support the event via subscribing and supporting on the Soup platform. But again, we have our first 2 seasons confirmed and funded for GSL. Season 1 and Season 2 this year. Season 3 is still up in the air. Right, season 3 is still not confirmed, and if we can reach greater heights and greater thresholds and greater kind of grounds, then we can of course fund a season 3, that 3rd season, of course. Well, we're getting there, pal. We're getting there. Stretch goals. That's it. That's the word I was looking for. Reach those stretch goals. Then we can fund season 3. Likewise, also big shout to Soup. Big shout to Soup for providing a clean feed, for allowing us to cast. In the past, I mean, we've casted GSL like for the past 3 years. But usually we cast GSL via replays. Usually we just wait, and then like 1 or 2 days later we cast via replays. But this season we have been able to live cast instead. We've provided the clean feed, obviously live casting here on Soup. But you know, it's great to have the opportunity to be able to properly live cast, to have the clean feed, of course. And here we go, we're jumping into the ace match, the final game of the series. It all ends here, it all ends on Ruby Rock. The players are getting ready. It's been it's been an intense tournament, non-stop ace matches tonight, and every single series of the broadcast going the distance. We're going the distance here. The players are getting fatigued, but also, I mean, that's what StarCraft is, a battle of endurance as well. Endurance, stamina also comes into play. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And in the bottom right-hand corner, we have a T1. It is herO. Let's go. Let us go. As we're jumping into the third and final game of the series, we're loading into Ruby Rock. Ruby Rock, of course, has a shorter rush distance by ground, has an open and exposed third, fourth base and area in between the bases as well. Because of that, we do often see a lot of all-ins, a lot of aggression. Later games are rarer here on Ruby Rock. Not impossible, but they are a rarer sight, and we'll see how our players will adjust their approach here. I can't imagine we'll see a Stargate. No Stargate play at a hero, no shot. We're imagining a Twilight Council opener into maybe 3-gate blink. 3-gate blink. We might skip the robo and cut a corner that way, as I know that hero does like to cut corners, but we're expecting a relatively safe start. Meanwhile, ByuN, what do you have for us? For now, single gas, racks expand, economic start out of ByuN. Economic starts, once again, another eBay block. We've seen an eBay block constantly throughout this entire series. Game 1, 2, and Game 3, but this time, faster scout by herO. The boys are being pulled, and his goal here is to force a cancel. To force that cancellation. Decent progression here on the eBay to delay at least. To delay the expand. And there's a cancel. So there's a cancel. There we go. There's a cancellation, there is the Nexus. Oh boy. Here we have our base, we have our expansion. From here we're just opening up into our early game. And it's going to be the racks into expand into factory on the high ground. So safe CC location on the high ground, just to make sure that there's no delays, there's no early zealot aggression or anything like that. ByuN is comfortably building up into the early game, and then from here we'll see if he goes into, say, Winter Mind Drop play, which we have not seen at all this entire broadcast out of ByuN. We could see Mind Drop play, we could see early Cyclones, Banshee play, Raven Harass, early Cyclone tank push. Show us what you got. Now going into our reactive marine. To our early reactive marine production. Tech lab is on the way on the factory. So early tech lab into starport into most likely Cyclone. Most likely early Cyclone. Whether we go early Cyclone into medevac into early push across the map, yet to be determined. We've seen that already here in this series. Could see it again. Cyclone is on the way. Do we go for the medevac or do we go for the swap? Do we go for the add-on, I'm going to say. As there we go, starport is done. Tech lab has begun. Not going for the add-on swap, but not going for the medevac. Just going straight into the tech lab here. So we just have a much more tame early game out of ByuN. There's no early move out, no early drop, I should say, no early commitment. And now we can build up in towards the mid game. Likewise out of herO, Twilight Council. I didn't get to mention it, but Twilight Council opener in towards Blink. How many gateways does herO have is a question. I believe he has at least 2. 3. Okay, 3-gate Blink. Hey, as we mentioned, our assumption was 3-gate Blink, skipping the robo into a third. And that's what we're doing. Yep, 3-gate blink, skips a robo into a third base. The reason why we assume that this will be the build of choice is because it is not as greedy as 2 gates, but it's not as safe as early robo. It's like in between that, where it's still slightly greedy. Slightly greedier. For herO. As you will have a delayed robo, this means that if there were, say, Cloak Banshees, then there'd be delayed detection and it'd be a bit of a shakier mid-game, and we could maybe punish herO. Likewise, if there was an all-in coming, then herO would have delayed immortal production. But alas, we're just building up from here into the Forge, into +1. Delayed robo, delayed observers as well, true. So, no observers. Will make scouting and vision a little bit more difficult here for herO. Moves out with the Stalkers, the blink is done. So far just nibbling away at the bunker. Gets Marine, gets 1, gets 2. Not bad. 2 Marine kills. Denies mining, boys are pulled to repair the bunker. We have that back and forth. And ByuN is going to be staying at home until he gets stim. Once he gets into stim and combat shields, he can break out and expand, or break out and push. Until then, though, we're just waiting for stim. That was also a big factor last game where ByuN, it looked like he wanted to be more aggressive on 2 bases, but he was denied stim, if you recall, and he lost a tank, so he was just forced into a more passive game. Or forced into a more defensive game, I should say. Meanwhile, here is still no Robo, by the way. Still no Robo, going for the charge, going for charge, forge, +1 into a gateway setup. And once again, picks up 2 more Marines. Very nice. Catching out Marines, almost catching the Marauder as well. Almost. Stalkers are coming from behind. Ooh, brutal tank shot. Tank fully goes off, 1 Stalker goes down. ByuN breaks out across the map. He's going for the drop. He's going for it. He's going for the drop. Here we go. He does drop into the main. There are some soldiers in position, forcing the recall. There's no prison. There's no battery. And ByuN just commits across the map. He's coming. Yeah, ByuN's main army is pushing towards the third. herO, he will defend the main base, but a bit of a messy defense. Charge is done. He wants a tank, and he gets it. Yeah, he gets us up with the tank. Massive pick off. Tank goes down. And the push is ended. Yeah, herO defends. He defends the main. He shuts down the tank. We'll take 1 shot to the face. Oh, that was a brutal mine shot. But ByuN has lost momentum. He's lost momentum. Without that tank, he cannot keep pushing. ByuN has to pull away, and now he starts a third. Oh, nice punish, though. Gets a Stalker. Gets 2. Takes down 2 Stalkers, punishing herO. Yeah, a little bit messy here out of herO. A little bit messy. Still quite tense. Overall, though, I favor herO's position, considering how late the 3rd base is going to be for ByuN. But where's the 4th? That's the big question. Where's the 4th for herO? Zelsay move out. ByuN is still being aggressive. He's still posturing. He's rotating, and herO, he will miss it. They miss each other. herO moves out. Do we base trade? Oh, no. We commit. Yeah, we're going for the base trade. We're going for the base trade. ByuN commits in towards the natural. herO's racing back home. He's racing back. Wooden Mines do borrow. Nice positioning. The mine shots. Massive connections. Zelda being cleared up. But the Stalkers are somewhat here. I mean, they made him home. They made it back home. He blinks in. And herO should hold. He should hold. He should defend. Boys pulled for a moment. Does focus on the Marauders. There's 3 Marauders left. After 2 down to 1. Yeah, 0 Marauders. 0 Marauders. With that, ByuN who will lose everything. 7 SCVs across. Oh no, the Medivacs! ByuN who will lose the entire army. He plummets in supply. And herO's coming. herO's counterattacking. Again, ByuN was so committed there, and it just was not worth it. He lost everything in the process. The Widow Mines, the Marauders, the Medivacs. herO gains map control. He's going to be containing ByuN. herO can now choose to expand or just double down. He's doubling down. He's going for it. herO, he smells one in the water. He wants to go for the kill. He's going for the kill. And ByuN's in trouble. He blinks in. Yeah, blinks in. Dives on the army. Force fields. They zone back some of the forces. Yeah, Marauders, they disengage. They cannot engage. They cannot fight. Bunker goes down. And hero's done it. Here, he has broken ByuN. Again, a very tense early to mid game. And ByuN, he chose to commit. He did get into the natural. He did have some good mine positioning, but he lost everything. Again, here, if he was across the map, we would have forced a base trade, but he was close enough. He raced back home. He defended. And with that, herO, he will make it through. He'll make it through into the semifinals. The Colossus rides across the map. GG gets called, and herO will claim the series 2-1 and make it to the round of 4 to the semifinals of GSL. GG. GG, well played, herO. He will advance on. He will make it through a very intense back and forth here. And ByuN was so close. He was so close to advancing on into semis as well. 1 game away. Came down to that final game, of course. And again, I don't blame ByuN for pushing in. I don't blame him. If herO was further across the map with his Stalkers, then he would have forced a weird base trade, but herO, he was close enough. He was in the center of the map. He chose to turn back around, and herO made it home. He made it home in time to defend, and with that, herO, he was able to collapse on the army, clean everything up, and with that, claim the game. GG. GG, well played. A risky move there by ByuN. Did not pay off in the end. And with that, herO, he will advance on, and ByuN is out of GSL. GG, well played. Congratulations to the hero. My condolences to ByuN, as I believe we're getting ready for the winners interview. We're getting ready for the interview here. Shout out to Maddox. Maddox has been providing some English translations. I'm excited to hear Tasteless ask, how do you what are your thoughts coming into the top 4? What are your goals for the tournament? I'm ready. State, what are you gonna ask?
All right, herO. Well, congratulations on your victory. This was a marathon day. The main question I want to ask you is about Game 2 versus ByuN. So you expanded, you took the entire map, and you just focused on trading all of these armies with ByuN as fast as possible. Why did you decide to go for that approach, constantly attacking, instead of taking into something like Tempest or a Mothership? Did you feel like you needed to win with that army?
일단 김준호 선수 승리 축하드리고요. 일단 되게 긴 밤이었는데.
Here will speak for himself. I will say that often it's not necessary to take up into Sky Toss, but we'll hear from him.
되게 유리한 상황에서 사실 후반 테크로 넘어갈 수 있었음에도 불구하고 계속해서 이제 기본 유닛의 트레이드 위주로 계속 가셨거든요. 어떻게 보면 좀 돈으로 찍어놓는 플레이를 계속 하셨는데 좀 그런 플레이를 고집하신 이유가 있을까요?
일단 감사드리고요. 아마 레더였으면 제가 폭풍원 갔을 거예요. 근데 이게 대회다 보니까 시야가 좁아지고 급하다 보니까 이게 게임이 그렇게 된 것 같은데 저도 그거 지면 어쩌나 하고 진짜 걱정했는데 그래도 이길 수 있어서 다행이었던 것 같습니다.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a normal ladder game, I would have gone Tempest and I would have dialed down a bit. But this is the tournament, and you're getting tunnel vision, and you seem like you're getting a constant pressure. So you don't you don't get that in mind in that kind of pressure situation. So I try just not to just get over and just turn down. Just to make sure, I need to stabilize. That's what I had in focus in mind. So I think that pressure made me to just stick to it.
Congratulations, herO, on advancing. Do you think you can win this season of GSL? I know you have some very tough opponents ahead.
이제 좀 쉽지 않은 상대들이 많이 남아 있긴 하지만 그래도
He's playing against Kira in the next round, by the way. And we know this. He's playing versus Kira. We can ask him about Kira. Ask him.
궁금합니다.
일단은 4강이 오프다 보니까 꼭 4강까지
Ask him about TVP and
오늘
Kira.
경기력 봤을 때는 일단 좀 힘들 것 같고 아직 기간이 많이 남았기 때문에 좀 많이 노력해야 될 것 같다고 느꼈습니다.
I mean, yeah, my initial goal was to make it out to the offline because there's only one day of offline events. So that being said, I'll really need to fix my performance because my performance was really bad. So yeah, it's gonna be tough if I perform like today. So I'll need to fix myself in the meantime.
Well, congratulations. Thank you so much for the interview, and best of luck going forward.
네, 감사합니다.
Man, great day today.
Yeah.
Great.
So
great round of
I did
four.
want to elaborate a little bit
really
on
every single series was epic. And it's
I did want to elaborate a little bit on what was said previously. So when it comes to TVP, when it comes to that kind of positioning as well, I mean, here he said it himself about keeping the pressure up and keeping his opponents on the back foot as yeah, as we still have the audio for the casters. We do have our night's performances here so far. Again, congratulations to Shin and herO for making it through the group stage. Shin does advance on in first place, herO in second place. Shin is going to be up against Maru, and herO is going to be up against Cure, and I'm sure we're going to be getting a graphic of the bracket itself. There it is. Here we go. Semifinals, Cure versus herO and Shin versus Maru. Now, what I was going to say about TVP is that very often, if you do decide in TVP, if you have map control, you have the bases, if you do decide to take up, that means you have to take gases. So you take gases, and then you start to slow things down. You throw down your fleet beacon, you throw down your stargates, and you start to take in that direction. That takes away from your aggressive nature. That takes away from herO, and herO was very active in that game. Even though game 1, even though game 2, ByuN was purely defensive and was stuck at home, herO was unrelenting. To a fault is what I will say. I mean, we did see some really rough fights from herO, but like he just kept rotating, kept pushing in. By no means did he like kind of rest on his laurels and stay back and let ByuN build up a bank and build up his own resources. Like herO was just constantly in his face, and that's kind of how you have to approach it. If you start to take up out of it, then usually that does take away from your aggressive nature. I would say usually it is always ideal to start teching up if you notice that your opponent is starting to stabilize, right? If you notice that your fights are going too poorly and your opponent is actually able to claim another base, then you do need to start teching, because clearly you're losing momentum and you're losing the effectiveness of this cheaper, more robust army that's designed to be like suffocating. If you're no longer suffocating, then you got to get the hell out of there and you got to start working towards something greater. Otherwise, everything can very quickly snowball out of control. But here we go. We have our schedule. We have our weekly schedule here. We just wrapped up with our RSL round of 8. With GSL round of 8, I meant to say. We have RSL over the weekend. We have the GSL semis and finals. That is going to be, of course, on the 17th of May. Looks like ticket sales open on the 11th of May, and they're going to be available for a week. And then, bam, we get the GSL semis and finals on the 17th. That'll be in 2 weeks' time. Meanwhile, of course, in the interim, we have, Kung Fu Cup. We have Water TV Mondays. We have RSL. Our schedule is a little bit more intense, of course, as always, on the CranKy Ducklings. We're going to be live in around 10 hours. We're going to be live in 10 hours time with what? With StarCraft Evolution, with some SEL doubles tournament. 2v2 StarCraft Evolution is going to be in 10 hours here on the CranKy Ducklings. Likewise, we also have the podcast. We missed out on the podcast last week because there was just so much StarCraft going on. We had no room for the podcast, but podcast is back tonight. That'll be in under 24 hours time. Under 24 hours, we have the podcast. Meanwhile, for more GSL action, we have, of course, the way to support. We have GSL Patreon, Patreon in the chat. Patreon.com/DSL is a way to support GSL and help us boost the prize pool and reach greater thresholds and reach greater stretch goals to be able to fund Season 3 of GSL. So you can help support Korean StarCraft, and you can help support fund Season 3 of GSL through the Patreon. Likewise, through the Soup platform as well. As you can see here, before you be able to zoom in, we have $6,000 a month, which we already reached. That is for 2 GSL CKs a month. We have $10,000 a month for GSL Season 3 to be funded, and $15,000 a month will allow for Season 3 to be extended into the round 16. Currently, it's round of 12, but we can extend it even further into the round of 16. True. Oh boy. So again, we do have our stretch goals available, and do consider supporting GSL via Patreon. Consider supporting. Otherwise, we are going to be wrapping up for the evening, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks' time for some more GSL. Otherwise, we'll see you in 10 hours for some more StarCraft. Again, we cast more StarCraft than anyone else out there in StarCraft. So tune in. So do tune in to some more CranKy Ducklings on all of our platforms. Meanwhile, shout out to all the other supporters as well. We have, who do we have here? We have One Stork. We have Peridosta. We have Kronos as well. I see David. I still see Manifesting Good Posture check in the chat. Otherwise, we're going to be wrapping up here, and we'll see you guys in 10 hours for some more StarCraft, or whenever we happen to see you. We're live on a daily basis over on our channels, Soup, etc. VODs available on YouTube as well. Check out the VODs. We'll see you guys next time. Ciao, papi, ciao. Until next time, hasta luego. See you next time.
Incoming transmission.